Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a no-sew blanket that's very quick, makes a great gift, and is very practical, washes well, won't wear out, and will make somebody happy. What I did was I'm making this for a little girl who's about to become a big sister, and she has always liked the Elsa and Frozen movie with Olaf. So I found polar fleece, so this isn't something that has to be finished on the edges or anything. It's washer and dryer care. Okay, so I bought 3 yards, and I cut that 3-yard piece in half. I'll show you what I'm going to do with the other half in a minute, but for now, this will do is give a piece of fabric that's about 65 inches wide and about 55 inches in length. So you have a pretty big blanket for a kid who's 4 years old. And so this was like 1.5 yards basically, and it comes about 60 inches wide. And so what I'm going to do here is cut off the selvage. We don't really want all those words there. And then the other end will do the same thing. It's not rocket science. You don't have to, it's forgiving, you know, if you don't get it exactly straight. It'll be okay because we're going to cut this into fringes. Really don't want any of that white on there, so I'd rather go in a little deeper and get it off. And you need a really good sharp pair of scissors here. I like these gold ones. Okay, now the other side has a selvage. It's not a white kind of printed selvage, but you can see it's just not a, it's just something to stabilize it when it's getting made. So we're going to cut it all off. Doesn't take more than a couple minutes. So these make really great gifts for someone in the hospital, for Christmas presents, for Hanukkah presents, birthdays. Everybody likes to keep warm under a blanket, and the polar fleece stuff comes in so many patterns now. You can get anything: footballs, basketballs, snowflakes, dogs. Okay, now usually the problem when we start cutting the fringes is what you do at the corner. Okay, so I like to do 2 different things. One is however long your fringes are going to be, like this, because you're just going to go and cut about every 1/2 inch, you know, and just keep the same rhythm and about the same length. Okay, now you can notch out this corner and just completely cut it off, or you can cut it into like a little feather pattern, and I kind of like that. So you just cut a little bit less deep all the way. If you cut it off, well, no big deal. You can just go ahead and cut it off on all the 4 corners, but if you do it like that, boom, got a cute little feathery kind of corner. It'll wash well, it won't tear, nothing like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, and in about, you know, 1/2 hour, 45 minutes, you will completely cut all the fringes on all 4 sides. Something you can do in your lap while you're watching TV, or you can just do it on the cutting board here, on the ironing board. Anything flat just helps you keep everything nice and straight. And after I get done cutting all the way around that one, I'll show it to you. And before I go do that, I'd like to show you something else. The other part of the material that I had was another 1.5 yards. I folded it in quarters and I cut the edges, so now I have 4 pieces that are big enough to cover a baby. So we're going to make a matching baby blanket for the big sister's new baby that's coming. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Cut off the selvage on, actually it'll only be on one side on this because I've quartered it. And we're going to cut fringes, but sometimes you actually don't have to cut fringes if it's going to be a baby because you don't want their fingers getting into it. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut one slice in little skinny slices. I'm not going to cut those 1/2 inch slices that I did on the other blanket. And then on this one, I'm going to get down to the corner rather than making that little feathered thing. I am going to notch it out and cut it away. It's just because it's so small, it will just kind of hang there and look funny. Okay, so I'm just gonna go all around all 4 edges and cut those little fringes. Now, what I'm doing with the other 3 pieces, I'm gonna make a dolly blanket for the big sister because she has a dolly that she's been practicing and getting ready for the new baby. So we'll make a matching blanket for her dolly. So I'll be making 2 of these, and then I'll have 2 left. So I happen to have 2 grand kittens, and they're in that same family. Well, they're the niece and this little 4-year-old is a niece of my son and future daughter-in-law, and we're gonna just make 2 kitty blankets with the leftovers because cats like blankets too. Okay, so when I get all the fringes cut, I'll be back to show you how they look. Okay, so after I have cut all of the fringes around all of the sides, we end up with this really nice blanket. It's a great gift. It has just the kind of things that little Iris would like to see on her blanket. It's easy to care for. She drags it around the house or wraps the dog in it or whatever. It can be washed and dried a couple times a day, and it will be in good shape. It'll last a long time. And then we also did 4 little blankets, same way. So 2 for the cats and 1 for Iris's baby doll and 1 for her real baby that's coming any day now. So we managed to take 3 yards of material and we got 5 blankets out of it. Even if you just had 3 yards of material and got 2 blankets out of it, it will be a really good economical gift to give and project to do. And it was really fast. Within, you can chop these fringes within an hour. You can watch TV while you're doing it or listen to a book on tape or something, and it goes very fast. And it's very forgiving. You don't have to measure off and cut them all 100% equal because it just looks nice. Just, the way it is there. You don't even realize if I cut them straight or not. I didn't cut them off, though. That is one thing you gotta be careful not to cut them off because you don't want to have like a missing piano key or missing tooth here, okay? So, I hope you go find some nice polar fleece material and make some nice gifts for your friends and family and society. You can do it for dog shelters or places where they need volunteers to make blankets. So there's lots of places, hospitals, nurseries, all kinds of things. So anyway, it's very easy and not too expensive. So have a wonderful time and a really great day. See you next time.